Hello, students. Once again, very warm welcome to your classes. Today, we will start the next chapter of biology cell, the basic unit of life. In this chapter, we will learn about the what is cell, why it's called as the basic unit of life, cell, its size, number, and shape, plants and animal cell organelles and their function, and differences between plant and animal cell. We differentiate between plant and animal cell. So first word is come that cell. What is a cell? The basic unit of life. Okay, why it is called? First of all, we know what is a cell. A cell is the smallest building block of all living organisms. A cell can be defined as the basic structural and functional unit of a living thing. Each cell is capable of carrying out all vital functions or life processes on its own. A cell can be seen under a microscope. A microscope is an instrument used to make tiny objects appear large. It makes use of lenses to magnify the objects. Okay, students, you understand cell or not? Because cell is the smallest living thing. As we know, our body is make up. We just take a example of our body. Our body is made up of cells. Cells make tissues, tissue make organ, and organ makes organ system, like that. Okay, so smallest unit like a house is made up of uh, when bricks are the cells for the house, because these are the smallest units for a house. Like that, for our body, cell is the smallest unit and it capable of doing varying function. Okay, we will read in later. So a microscope, you already understand, okay, which makes tiny objects larger. Then discovery of cells. Now the what we read nowadays, discovery of cells. And in 1665, Robert Hooke, an English scientist, examined thin slices of cork under a microscope. Okay, what he do? Thin slice of cork. Okay, cork is collected from the plant. Okay, he saw many tiny boxes, structures that resemble the structure of a honeycomb. The structures, it like that the honeycomb structure. Who called these tiny structures cells? Okay, the honeycomb-like structure which appear on cork cambium, it says by cell. The term cell comes from the Latin word cellula. Cellula, that means a small room. Okay, in 1838, Matthew Selden and Theodor Swan, two German biologists, put forward the cell theory of life. Okay, these two put the cell theory of life. This theory states the following: all animals and plants are made up of cells. Okay, first postulate of this theory is all animals and plants are made up of cell. Cells are the basic units of structure and function in all organisms. In 1868, Rudolf Virchow, a German scientist, proposed in addition to the cell theory, he stated that new cells are produced from pre-existing cells by cell division. So he said that omnis cellula e cellula. It means every cell is originate from the pre-existing cell. It means cell form new cell. Okay. Whenever you have any confusion, you can ask. Okay, students. Cell size, number, and shape. Cells vary in number, size, and shape. Most cells are very small in size and cannot be seen with the naked eye. They can be seen only with the help of a microscope. The size of a cell is usually measured in micrometers. Mu m. It is notified like this, which is 1 upon thousandth part of a millimeter. The cells range in size from small cells, bacteria about 0.2 to 5 mu, to the longest cell, that is the nerve cell, as long as 1 meter. Some cells are big enough in size to be seen with the naked eye. For example, the largest single cell is the egg of an ostrich, largest single cell, which is about 15 centimeter long and 13 centimeter wide. Number. Organism may be unicellular, that is made up of only one cell. Okay, the organisms which are made up of only one cell is called unicellular, or multicellular, made up a few or million cell. It means you can say that the organisms which are made from more than one cells. Organisms such as bacteria, amoeba, chlamydomonas, and yeast are unicellular. On the other hand, organisms such as Spirogyra, mango tree, and a human being are multicellular. See in figure 2.1. This is amoeba. Okay, it is unicellular, and chlamydomonas also unicellular, whereas this plant or mango tree is a multicellular. Okay, we read about the sizes. Now we read about the shape of cells. Cells perform different functions and they are found in shapes that match the functions. For example, nerve cells are elongated since their function is to send electric signals around the body. We know that nerve signal, what neurons does, they pass through the signals to the brain. So these are long structure. Okay, and next is human red cells. Human red blood cells are biconcave and disc-like so that there is greater surface area for absorbing oxygen. That's why they are disc-like and ovate in shape to absorb more oxygen. Muscle cells are spindle shaped and contractile to allow movement of the different parts of body. So shape of the cell also determine its function. Okay, like that. And these are the some questions which you have to do. Okay, in your notebook. The term cell was coined by Robert Hooke or Rudolf Virchow. One answer is correct. You have to write here. And a nerve cell can be as long as 1 meter or 3 meter. Third, the egg of an ostrich is the largest or smallest single cell. You have to write here. Amoeba is a multicellular or unicellular. Chlamydomonas is a unicellular, whereas Spirogyra or yeast is a multicellular organism. From these, one will be multicellular. Skin cells are flat so that they can form a protective or contractile barrier. Muscle cells are rod shaped or spindle shaped. We just forget one line here, that skin cells are flat so that they can form a protective barrier. Okay, that's why our skin is flat, because it has a protective function. Now we read that why a cell is called as structural and functional unit of life. Despite the differences in their shapes, sizes and numbers, all cells have the same basic internal makeup. A cell is covered or bound by a thin membrane called the cell membrane. Okay, all cells are covered by a thin membrane which is known as cell membrane. The cell membrane encloses the living contents of the cell called the protoplasm. And inside this cell membrane, which encloses a living material, actual living material of any organism, which is known as protoplasm. Many specialized structure called cell organelles can be found within the protoplasm, which we read in the next class. Okay, till next class you just read about this cell membrane, okay, and cell wall and cell organelles. Okay, I also share this PDF with you, and try to read whatever we have discussed in this class today. And if you have any confusion, then you can ask or try to understand. It's very simple chapter and you can understand it very well. So in next classes we will go through in detail with this cell and its cell organelles. And I hope you will be give the answers of these question on Sunday. Thank you.